Hi everybody, so today I'm going to do another Bible review. But before we get started, I would like to remind you to make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure that you hit that little bell so that you'll be notified when I upload a new video. So today we're going to be looking at the only verse-by-verse NIV Bible that's out there. So if the NIV is your translation of choice and you want a verse-by-verse, this is going to be the one that you're going to have to get. So this one is part of the Premier Collection from Zondervan, and it is the NIV Preacher's Bible. So it comes in a very nice two-piece box. I do like how they did do NIV wrapping around both sides. They did that both top and bottom. So very nice box, very durable, so when your Bible's not in use or when you're transporting it, it is going to protect it. I'm going to hold that right there in case you'd like to pause and read that top section, and then we'll drop down to the features. So we're just going to look at a few of them because we're going to see all of these on the inside. So again, it is the only NIV in a verse-by-verse layout. It is hand-bound, so it's got a goatskin leather cover with raised hubs. It is sewn and edge-lined. It does match page for page with their NIV Pew and Worship Bible. It's got a two-color page design on a premium European Bible paper, which is 36 GSM. It's a double column verse by verse layout. We're going to have 3 double-sided ribbons that are 3/8 of an inch wide. It does have a generous yapp. It's got art gilding and a gilt line, as well as perimeter stitching. It is a black letter edition. It is line matched, and this one is going to have a 9.5 print size. So we can see that it is a premium leather goatskin. There is our ISBN number. Retail is $189.99. Now you can find it for less online, and as always I will put a link in the description box. And then we will also take a peek once we have looked at this one, and we'll show you how it matches page for page with the NIV Pew and Worship Bible. Alright, so this Bible here measures out at 9 7/8 inches tall by 6 3/4 inches wide, and it is only an inch thick. So very thin Bible. So we've got our 3 ribbons, which are just beautifully done. We've got our silver gilding. You will notice that yes, I have scratched mine, but the first scratch is always the hardest. So really pretty silver gilding. This is a hand-bound goatskin cover, very soft and supple. It is perimeter stitched all the way around the perimeter, and you can already kind of see how that leather there wants to kind of hug the book block. So we'll take a quick peek at the yapp. So it does have a decent yapp on there, but really a nice cover. You can see that grain pattern, super soft. On the spine we're going to have Holy Bible, New International Version, and Zondervan, and then we can see those raised hubs, which I think they look fantastic. But just a really soft, comfortable Bible. I really like the leather on this one. So when we open it up, you are going to have your Premier Collection paper that talks about the quality of this Bible, and it's guaranteed for life. So you want to hang on to that. I would recommend keeping that in the box. So we do have our edge lined, so this liner is going to be tabbed up onto the block. I'm not sure what this material is on the liner, but it does have a nice feel. It is stamped goatskin leather cover. We can also see that we do have that silver perimeter line all the way around that perimeter, the silver gilt. So that does look nice. Now these first few pages, when they're edge lined like that, is going to be stuck together. Make sure you don't pull those apart. So we do have our presentation page with the scripture on the bottom. Then we get into our title pages. So this one here is going to be the 2011 version of the text. This one was printed in China. We can already see that we do have our 2 colors, so we've got the nice shade of blue, and I like how they use that little decorative line. So we've got all of our table of contents, also a list of all the books alphabetically. Then we get into the preface of the NIV, and then we get into the Old Testament. So I do like the way that they did that in the blue, and again that little decorative line just adds a nice touch to it. We do have that 36 GSM paper, which is really nice. And again, this one is going to be the only verse-by-verse NIV. So we've got Genesis in blue, and then we've got our subject headings in blue, and we can see our verse numbers are also set in blue so that it makes it easier on the eyes. And they are set a little bit away from the text, as you can see there. The text is also line matched. So that is really nice, the way that that is laid out. So again, if you love the NIV and you want a verse by verse, this is going to be the one that you want. And if you want something where you do have a little bit of space for notes, you can see that the space is going to be on the bottoms of the pages. Now some may not have as much, but other pages are going to have quite a bit more. I'll get you a close-up of that shade of blue. I do really like that. That does look really nice. So again, 9.5 on the font and 36 GSM paper. Any of the translation type notes are going to be along the bottoms of the page. But really a nice layout. One thing I do want to point out is not only is this a sewn binding, so you can see the larger stitches, and I'll just put my finger in front of where those are at so you can see. And then we're going to have these short little stitches there on that other side, as you can see those little short ones. So that is what is called overcast stitching. So this is a superb binding for a Bible. So if you get one of these and you take care of it, you can expect that this is going to last you a lifetime, because the binding that this one has is fantastic. So I'm going to open up to kind of more of the middle section, just so that you can see the art gilding and that silver gilt line. And I'll get you a close-up of that. Again, close-up of the text. And then there's some of the notes along the bottom. So really a nice layout on this one. And again, just the binding and the cover just has such a nice feel. Now we are going to have 3 ribbons. They are going to be 3 different shades of blue. But one thing that I really like is they're plenty long enough. So I really do appreciate that. So we'll take a quick look at the 3 of these next to each other so that you can see the colors of those ribbons. I think they're really pretty. I like that it's got the 3 different colors. They're cut really nice. Again, they're 3/8 of an inch wide, and they are all double-sided satin. So that against the silver on there, I think that looks really nice. I like having 3 ribbons in a Bible. I know not everybody does, but I personally like it. So again, nicely done on the ribbons. So I'll get you a quick close-up of this other color. And again, look how nicely they cut those. So they paid close attention to detail. They're really pretty, and they just have a nice feel. And I love that they've got some extra length. That way too, especially if you're going to be using this one for a long time, or a preacher that's going to, as they start to fray, you've got enough extra length where you can cut those and then just heat treat it. Because there's nothing worse than having ribbons that are too short to use. So we can also see, as we are right here in the New Testament, that again, it is just black letter only. But again, the blue in here just looks so nice. That is so easy on the eyes. I really like that shade of blue with the blue on the art gilding and the blue ribbons. I think that looks really nice. So once we get back to the back of the Bible, we are going to see that we don't have any extra features. We get to the very end of Revelation, and the only helps we're going to have is just a table of weights and measures. But I did also want to show you that how this one matches up with the Pew and Worship Bible. So if your pastor was preaching out of Matthew chapter 26, we can see page 853, and we see that on the bottom left we've got 26, and then down here we've got verse 29. So we're going to take a quick peek at this. I kind of combined quick and peek into one word there. Alright, so I'm going to go to that same page in the Pew and Worship Bible. And this is what makes it nice for a congregation, because the pastor can be up at the pulpit And if you guys all had these in the pews, he could just simply say, turn to page 853, and bam, everybody could be on the same page. And rather than having all different Bibles, if everybody had the same one, then the sermon's going to go a lot faster, because he's not standing up there looking across the congregation waiting for people to turn to the section in their Bibles, because if they all had these, they're going to already be there. So we can see we've got 853, Matthew chapter 26 and verse 29. We can see how we have 26 in that same section there. And then when we look down here, we can see that the last one is verse 29. So even though this is a paragraph layout, it's going to have the exact same verses as this page. So that does make it really nice. But just a beautiful edition of the NIV. If this is your translation of choice, and again, and if you want a verse by verse, you're going to have to get this one, because it's going to be the only one out there. Give you one quick shot of how the Psalms look. But really a nice Bible. The cover on that is absolutely gorgeous. It's got such a nice feel to it. I love the ribbons. And the Premier Collection editions are some of my absolute favorite Bibles. I probably use them more than a lot of my others. So again, this has been the NIV Preacher's Bible, which is part of the Premier Collection from Zondervan. And I will put a link in the description box. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.